Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome once again to another episode of the story of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today is episode 21. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today's episode we will be talking about some conflict in Medina. So from previous episodes, we talked about how, the Muhajiruns and the Ansars were living peacefully. They were also living peacefully with the Jewish tribes, the Jewish tribes that were in Medina. No issues, no conflict. But secretly, the Jewish had some secret jealousy or anger towards the Muslims. They saw that Islam was spreading really fast. The message was being accepted by a lot of people, and they kind of feared that Jews would also start converting to Islam, and so they started plotting internally. They were plotting little conflicts and tensions between the Muhajiruns and the Ansars, trying to cause argument and dispute between them, just being hypocritical. But as Allah would have it, every time they try to cause chaos or conflict or dispute, Allah would make that go away. There was actually one day where a woman came to the Prophet and she said, "Oh, I made this delicious meat meal for you that I wanted to give you." And the Prophet was happy. She was a Jewish woman. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was happy and he accepted the meal. He invited his sahabas and he invited them to come have the meal with him. And when he took the first bite, and he told the rest of the sahabas not to eat it. And he fears that he told them he fears that this was poison, and so he asked for the woman to be called, to be summoned. The woman was summoned and he asked her if she had indeed poisoned the meal, and she admitted to poisoning the meal, and she said that her brother was killed in the Battle of Badr, and she blames the Muslims for that. And one thing though that the Prophet ﷺ forgave her, one thing that I should also mention was part of the secret jealousy and tension and conflict and anger that the Jews had against the Muslims was because of the victory of the Battle of Badr. The Jews were actually expecting the Muslims to lose the war, and so that would stop the spread of Islam. But unfortunately for them, the Muslims, in a miraculous way, won the battle, and so Islam continued this to spread, right? So the woman confessed to poisoning the meat. She gave the reason why, and then she begged for forgiveness. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was always compassionate, forgave her. One other time, there were different stories about how the Jews tried to, cause chaos or conflict or arguments between the Muhajiruns and the Ansars. And also they were also trying to just look for ways to make the Muslims angry. Like if they saw a Muslim woman walking, they would abuse her and try to instigate anger or conflict with them. One of such stories was the Jews were abusing a woman, and a Muslim came in to defend her, and a fight ensued. And in that fight, unfortunately, one of the Jewish men died in that fight, and the Jews, I think that just made their anger even grow bigger, and they started plotting something bigger. We will find out what they're plotting in the next episode, inshallah. So thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the story of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will see you on the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.